name's R. Massey. The R stands for Robert. Most of my friends call me Bob. I'm Public Relations Director, the Memphis Works of International Harvester. This is my story. That's me you're looking at. Hello there. This is the family. That's Jane, my wife, holding Adrian, the baby. Sheila, the other girl, is 6, and we think she's rather extraordinary. Yes, it's a nice family and a good home and something to be happy about. When I was a boy, I went to Merrill School. A few of the boys there had bikes. Gosh, how I wanted a bike. But none of the folks in our neighborhood had a lot of money, just good, hard-working folks. There were the Tumanellos, the Adamses, the Brannons, and the Brogans. We didn't have the luxuries, and sometimes we didn't have quite all the necessities. Here comes the boy in the neighborhood I ended. He had a bike, and he could do all sorts of things like ride without using his hands. But I was lucky, too. It was a good group of boys. Most of them are substantial citizens today. We had nicknames like Chili, Rabbit, Pot, Mutt. And they used to call me Goggles. We weren't bad, but we had a lot of time on our hands. Sometimes we had just a little too much time. No, we weren't what you would call bad boys, just full of energy and looking for something to do, to occupy our time. When we had games like this going on, we had to keep a close lookout for the principal or some other grown-up who might break it up. We soon learned to scatter fast. And some of the kids learned the hard way that the house was not high enough to hide under. Here you see me making my first call on Mr. Dave Jolly, who was to be my Kiwanis sponsor and who grew to be one of my closest and best friends. You see, that is what a Kiwanis sponsor is, a little boy's best friend. While you're looking at the pictures of some of the Kiwanians who are now serving as Kiwanis sponsors for little Kiwanians, I'd like to tell you how I happen to be a little Kiwanian. I was over in Winchester Park one day. There's a place that has a lot of good memories for me. I heard 2 boys talking. Their names were Ray Woodard and Jow Clemens. I'll never forget them. They were talking about something called the Little Kiwanis Club. I'd never heard of it before. They were just back from a week's trip through Kentucky and Tennessee, which had been given them by the Kiwanis Club. They not only told about this exciting trip, but they said a member of the Little Kiwanis Club could go swimming in the YMCA pool, and best of all, each member had a Kiwanis sponsor, one of the big shots in town who took a personal interest in him. I had been without a father for 10 years, and I couldn't imagine anything more wonderful than having a grown man that I could count on for a friend. But I was a little suspicious about this Little Kiwanis Club. Thought there must be a catch in it. It sounded too good to be true. However, it was worth looking into, so I went to the Kiwanis office. And sure enough, everything those 2 boys said was true and more. I became a little Kiwanian and got to know the kind of men who set the pattern for the kind of man I wanted to be. When I got ready for a full-time job, the Depression wasn't over and jobs were almost impossible to find. But I wanted to do newspaper work, and somehow Miss Gillis in the Kiwanis office persuaded Captain Nuck Brown to give me a chance. I'll always remember that break. It was a real incentive to make good. I couldn't let the Kiwanians and Miss Gillis down. Each month, the little Kiwanians and their Kiwanis sponsors had a dinner meeting as they do now. We had group singing, and a devotional service, which was usually followed by a speaker on vocations and long inspirational lines. Our Kiwanis sponsors played games with us, and we all got to know each other better. And don't think we weren't pleased and a little cocky when we hit the bullseye more than they did. We elected our own officers, and we conducted our own meetings. It was a great honor to be on one of these programs, and we each did the best we could when we were called on. We always closed our program with the oath of allegiance and bowed our heads in prayer. But the favorite party of the year, the one we all liked better than even the picnic parties, was the Christmas party. This is a group of Kiwanis sponsors who are having more fun at the party than anyone. This is Mr. Lawo, and if you don't know him, that proves you aren't a boy. We all know him as our best friend. He originated the Little Kiwanis Club in 1928. We had Christmas music and a Christmas devotional and a talk by an outstanding speaker. We also had a number of prominent businessmen who came to this party every year because they liked to come and we liked to have them. We brought our mothers, and the Kiwanians brought their wives. There was always some good entertainment, and our favorite was a magician. And then, of course, came the distribution of fruits, nuts, candy, and gifts. I tell you, this party really was the event of the Christmas season for all of us boys, and I believe it was for the Kiwanians, too. Here is a picture of a group of men at a committee meeting. This is the Man for Boy Committee. And while you watch some of the activities that the boys enjoy at the Y because of this committee, I want to tell you how the Man for Boy Club got started. Mr. Lawo was determined that all the boys who had no place to play except the streets of Memphis should get a chance to swim and play games and perhaps get in the woods for at least 1 week or 2 each summer. He found a large number of men in the city who were also interested in such a program, and under his leadership, the Man for Boy Camping and Recreational Program was set up, sponsored by the YMCA, the Press Center, and the Kiwanis Club. The camp scenes you're about to see were taken at Camp Pickwick, the YMCA camp at Pickwick Dam. More than 100 boys go there for 2 weeks of healthy, constructive play each summer, thanks to those of you who support the Man for Boy Club. They enjoy wholesome recreation and the opportunity to learn self-reliance and leadership in Christian surroundings. The camp isn't operated for profit. These weeks are something the lucky boys can remember with pleasure all their lives. Each year, the LS Lawo Man for Boy Club reaches into the lives of almost 2,000 Memphis boys. In addition to the boys it sends to Camp Pickwick, more than 1,000 other boys take part in a program of club activities, gym classes, swimming, and Bible study. More than 200 yearly memberships are given in the boys' division of the Y, entitling them to all the pleasures and privileges which mean so much to healthy young Americans. The Camp at Home program encourages an interesting and wholesome recreational program for hundreds of boys in the summer months. The boys we serve are boys who need a friend. They're boys who frequently don't have much supervision from Mom and Pop because they have to go out making a living. All we want to do is help them help themselves, to stay on the right track, physically, mentally, and spiritually. They're our boys, and we need them to help keep our community and our country strong.